Welcome everyone back to the Collegiate Cephalopod Association. I am on once more, and even though it's been a long time since I've been on mic, this is still a once more situation.
Close enough.
Close enough. So, yeah, we're here. We have matchups coming up. What teams are this again? I looked at this earlier. University of Central Florida Error-Nautics versus the University of Washington Husky.
Yeah, both teams are in Division 2 this go around here. We're gonna get to see a familiar team, actually, members that we will recognize from Error-Nautics and getting themselves back. And we all remember the Husky Splatsville Knights back in Season 3, though. Both teams actually back in Season 3, Division 1, but not making enough to get to their respective playoffs. So they get a chance, but in Division 2 this go around.
Yeah. So let's see how well they're going to be able to put up in fighting aspects here in Division 2, because they did go down from the past few seasons. This is their first time not in Division 1, to my knowledge.
Absolutely, and I think to our knowledge so far, with these two teams not in Division 1, I think this is actually the first go around that they're getting try in Division 2. I think technically, with the reveals, I think them going down to Division 2 shouldn't phase them too much, though. I think I'm just more excited to see how these two teams have progressed.
Yeah, definitely. Some really good players. Ollie next on the side of the Husky Splatsville Knight. And then you see Elixir on the side of Error-Nautics from University of Central Florida. They were the captain of Kraken Squids last season, and the season before, if correctly. But Ollie stayed for CCA and University of Washington's team.
Yeah, and I'm actually good. And I was wondering, actually, just before we went live, trying to figure out where Elixir came from for Central Florida, because I was trying to exactly remember the team in question. Kraken Squids was the one I was thinking of. So thank you for getting me on that one. And yeah, we get to see Ollie and Husky Splatsville Knights added again for another CCA season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is gonna be their Husky Splatsville Knights' third straight season in a row. As we're about to load in here, Vapor.
Yeah, let's get right into this. University Central Florida Error-Nautics going up against the University of Washington Husky Splatsville Knights on that signature bamboo pencil coming out from Elixir. Not too surprising to see the two Chargers.
Not entirely surprising, and actually the bamboo being the signature pick actually shouldn't be too surprising, but it's a very unconventional pick, so to speak, from that side. And I actually need to confirm what we're seeing here, as we do see control being taken on. And yeah, actually it's gonna be Error-Nautics. Colors are actually flipped. I think that was being noted. So it will be Error-Nautics on yellow side. Blue side is gonna be Husky Splatsville Knights, as we do see the points still being captured here, and it looks like the rest of Error-Nautics still trying to push up ahead. It's just a bit of trade. It looks like Husky Splatsville Knights will be able to get the point back, and it's just a bit of a trade, one trade in the zone so far.
Nexus trying to take control up top here, trying to get some. It finds one with follow up, trying to make a move, but pincers everyone else into that lower plat area. Trying to move back up is going to be Error-Nautics, and there goes the pencil. This should be enough for Husky Splatsville Knights to control this zone and keep points going down.
Yeah, the points will continue to go down here for Husky Splatsville Knights, as the T-Tex has gone down on top of this one. Nexus has found an opening, quickly shut down though, and it will be Husky Splatsville Knights still continue to tick down on some of these points. Dizzy trying to continue to attack, but it looks like this won't be enough for Error-Nautics to retain the lead. Husky Splatsville Knights gets it back. Inks are being dished out here. The point has been neutralized so far here, Bibber, and what I have seen so far is unsurprising with the rolling that's been ensuing. It's gonna be Husky Splatsville Knights still maintaining pace with the zone in their favor.
A lot of this is just slight stagger one by one. Like, there goes the pencil, there goes Bamboo, and on each side, just one keeps going down. Nexus does find the pick onto the 10 attack, but there goes another, and there goes another as well. Error-Nautics just falling short every single time, and it's going to be the Husky Splatsville Knights to take game 1 here, Keon.
Husky Splatsville Knights, Nexus' very own, gets 3 down by themselves, and then I believe followed it up with a delayed quad on top of that one, and that just pretty much signaled the end for Error-Nautics' push. I mean, I gotta give a lot of credit though to Husky Splatsville Knights really being able to control the pace of the game the way they wanted to. We got some quick replays here. Nexus using that Trizuka as much as they could, trying to find anything, and then actually, even with that Trizuka shots, just found the flank. Well, let's find a few more on top of this one. Dizzy's gonna be going down here shortly, and then it's pretty much all day road there. And I think Nexus, with some assisting there as well, capped it off with a nice little quad. That was some excellent play from Nexus to secure it home for the Husky Splatsville Knights.
Yeah, and this is the big play here for Husky Splatsville Knights. Yeah, they play shooters. Okay, cool. But we also have seen them on Sploosh in the past. We've seen them on a lot of shorter range, fast-paced weapons. So seeing that shot do pretty well, not really surprised. But we also have to see what else Husky Splatsville Knights has heading into this game number 2.
Yeah, and just to quickly check here for the second map. Yes, there it is. It's Tower Control on Inkblot Art Academy overall. So I'm actually really gonna be intrigued to see how what the adjustments are gonna be from Error-Nautics, and you kind of get to see Nexus just go off and just run rampant across the board, obviously with the Trizugas in tow. So I'd like to see if Error-Nautics has somewhat of a response against this pace of play that the Husky Splatsville Knight has. Really, for the Husky Splatsville Knights, though, I wouldn't be surprised if they want to stick to the same script, but this is a bit of a tricky map to maneuver. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they try to tweak it a bit to play to the map's advantages.
Definitely going to be interesting to see how these two teams play this next one out, because it is more of a common map mode we see. This is not bad for either Chargers that we've seen in the last game.
Yeah, and we're about to cue right into this one, and I'm gonna be intrigued what the changes are going to be for Error-Nautics, and here, as I alluded to before, they may have to make some minor tweaks. They're not gonna make any tweaks at all. I think they're just gonna stick to the same content that somewhat worked for them. Other side, I think the more notable thing of interest is that really you still have Nexus on the hero shot replica. Well, forget what I'm about to say next. Forget what I was about to say next. We're gonna end the battle before I say any more.
Well, so we'll find out what went on. But yeah, if we do see similar comps come out, I won't be surprised that the shot continues forward. If my throat's starting to die here a little bit, so don't mind me. But if the shot continues, if we see that pencil, those are the staples I expect to see, because those are also the players I know the most personally. So I somewhat know how they want to play each map, and just looking at this, I wouldn't be surprised if they just stick with those weapons.
Yeah, I think as what you alluded to, I don't think there's going to be too many. Maybe there won't be too many changes that we're going to end up seeing here. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they try to just stick to the same script based on what we kind of saw there. And I think really what everything has alluded to is Husky Splatsville Knights. I think they just want to stick to theirs because it helps allow the way that their composition is set up. It allows them to play a little bit more fast and more aggressive when they absolutely need to. Of course, you have Nexus just going off on a rampage anytime they could with that spot shot, or I guess you could say the hero shot replica for that matter. On the other side, though, for Error-Nautics, they probably just want to stick to what has simply worked out for them. I'm so curious as to where the battle truly ended at that point, but I'm guessing more often than not it could be a substitution error. Usually that is what ends up happening whenever these events do happen. But looks like both teams are kind of figuring it out right now.
Yeah, so we'll get right back into this here in a second. But University of Washington, Husky Splatsville Knights against Error-Nautics of the University of Central Florida is what match we are watching. Game 1 is in favor of the Husky Splatsville Knights, as we will be heading into game number 2. Academy, pencil back from Elixir. Ollie once again on that bamboozle.
Yeah, and I think the battle ended because I think there was a substitution or a weapon error there, so they got so both teams will be dueling Nautiluses overall here, some midline support overall. But I think this is gonna effectively really a battle between how both splatter shots and shield shot uppercuts roll out along with the T-Tech and the NSAP. One side has a triple ink strike, the other side has a cooler. Coolers you get to see a little bit more often in most games, and as we do see a 2-down situation there. Or on Error-Nautics end, if I'm not mistaken. It will be Husky Splatsville Knights onto the first checkpoint.
Getting some shots off. They do take that first check. And just trying to keep this tower forward is going to be Ollie backing up for a little bit here.
Yeah, Ollie's just the rest of the Husky Splatsville Knights just trying to retreat, trying to play a little bit more safe. I think they didn't want to try to push too much of their advantages up. I don't necessarily blame them at all. Triple H just being put out there just to make sure that nobody was anywhere close to the tower in that positioning. Now the T-Tech does trade with the Nautilus there, so some range is going to go down, but I think it isn't going to really factor in too much there in terms of the state of where everything is. And now we get to see the coolers being dished out, more speed, 2 members going down yet again from Error-Nautics end, and once again Husky Splatsville Knights restarting the push.
And with that first checkpoint cleared, you can easily get some more points. They only get 1 so far with the shot Nexus going down. And they're trying to take a fight with it. The bottom, and there goes it on the Nautilus. There's another that stack. Super separated on the side. Still nice right now.
Yeah, the rest of the Husky Splatsville Knights. Hello there, everybody. That is 2. Both going down to the same one there. Gonna need to take a quick check on that one, but that was insanely huge, and that will effectively stop this one. Husky Splatsville Knights did. That was a crucial defense, by the way. That effectively turned what was gonna be a great push into something that stalled out entirely there. And I think what Error-Nautics tried to do was try to set up and try to force lockout in their direction. It only gave Husky Splatsville Knights the small advantage. Now they do go 2 down. They only get 3 more points on top of it, but that was still a nice hold nevertheless.
That is the finds checkpoint for them. But now back on the other side, Husky Splatsville finds 2 of their own. But losing 1 in return. So tower back in Husky control, but there goes Nexus 2 down for the Knight.
Now the Knights are basically just stuck where they are, and really both teams are just kind of rolling around this tower. Nobody really can get through the second checkpoint. It's very even as we speak, and now I would like to see really just some excellent special usage really from either side, as we do see 3 specials have been farmed up there on I believe the Husky Splatsville Knights, and if I'm not mistaken there, that is going to be the Trizuka Howard being thrown out there, and that turns it into 2 down. They couldn't take advantage of their specials at all, and that was a great hold. That 3-down situation stops the push, and we do see Error-Nautics once again they once get full in defense, but again they had to start figuring out how they get these specials out there. You got the triple ink strikes available if they could. Nautilus right now is just hanging on tight, just hanging on to that special as much as they needed it to happen.
Cooler ready to go. Elixir pops it out, trying to keep forward with their team, but getting stuck alone. Nexus trying to make a play, but can't find anything off it here. About minute 20 left. Advantage for the Husky Splatsville Knights, but they are 2 down.
Yeah, 2 down right away, and now and it's the same deal. They just once they made it to that second checkpoint, it pretty much the Error-Nautics, excuse me, were able to quickly rush in, then just be able to find members that were just trying to push far up ahead to force the lockout. But at the same time, Error-Nautics is just having a hard time just getting started. They're having a hard time driving this tower into Husky Splatsville Knights territory, and again, all these staggers that are in play, all the trains that's going to happen, Husky Splatsville Knights are going to be perfectly content with that given their lead situation.
This is a very low-scoring game as well. Moving up is the shot, but there goes the Nautilus. University of Washington trying to make a move of their own, but they keep going multiple down. Ollie, last one up before a stagger, but slowly getting jumps right back in. Elixir trying to find shots onto the Nautilus. They stay alive, but there goes Ollie.
Yeah, and now we get to see Elixir trying to set up the core. Now, this is the last chance for Error-Nautics to make something happen. The zap going down on Husky plus 1 is going to be huge, but I think we saw 2, and now they turn this to 3 down, and Vapor, as we speak, Error-Nautics had one
they're
last
saving
chance.
it!
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. They're still saving it. They're still saving it on the other end, but this is actually going to be the jumps coming in. They can't punish them. They can't punish them at all, and this will be... What is happening here as the tower finally retagged? It was all the brawl. Somehow one member doesn't get punished by the end of this. But all that being said and done, Huskies Splatsville Knights, they hold winning game 2, Vapor.
What? They popped Zuka on the far side. The person on the stack that they were going to didn't get the pick there? Like, look at this replay really quick. Ollie holding on to this tower against Elixir, but Elixir just wins that flat out. And it's going to be the Nautilus trying to take the fight with the Zuka, but they get punished instead. Seems like the one of the players just fell off the tower in the back, but that was very rough on both sides there at the end.
It was not clean. So here's a few things to note. So the Trizuka shot right away, trying to aim right at the Nautilus, was one key point. Missed the point blank shot, which allowed the Nautilus to basically buy their time to push. And then they basically couldn't punish each other at all until they needed some extra support. All that ends up happening there. It's now a 1-for-1 trade down amongst the brawl, and then we can see one member. I think that was Elixir that was on tower duties. I had to make a quick check on that on the replay. Just goes off the tower for a split second when the tower stalls, and there was a split second where Husky Splatsville Knights could retain possession of that tower at that exact moment in time, and that is exactly what happened. They were just off the tower for just a second too long. The game ended just like that, Vapor.
Yeah, and it definitely comes down to the wire every single time. And coming down to the wire, you have to make very fast plays instead this time around. Rainmaker, Eel, Hail, Alley will be map number 3 for this set.
Now, if you normally play competitive, for those who are watching, you'd be wondering what the heck Eel Tail Alley is doing here. Well, Eel Tail Alley needs to have a lot of love here in Collegiate. Let's be real there. And Rainmaker is actually one of the more least offensive choices to boot as well. I personally like this map mode combination here on Eel Tail Rainmaker, but there is only like one pass straight down. There's really no opportunity for flanks. So you basically don't be surprised if both teams just try to find a comp that basically allows all of them to rush in, or a style that allows all of them to rush in.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to come down to that. It's going to be a stalemate until it's not. Like, at the end of the day, it's going to be definitely very interesting in this next map as we see the players start to get ready to check up.
Now we're gonna get to see all the players kind of just trying to figure out. Okay, now you got to figure out a game plan to work with the Eel Tail Alley Rainmaker. As you mentioned, the last map just kind of not as clean as both teams may have preferred to have it happen, and this map isn't going to be any cleaner because this is indeed Eel Tail Rainmaker, where things can get a little hectic in terms of the pace and pace of play, and along the fact really that it's Eel Tail Alley where there's really not many routes to maneuver with. So at the end of the day, both teams just have to find something that really works for them. Obviously Husky Splatsville Knights up 2-0. They probably they are likely going to be sticking to the same script. Error-Nautics again the same deal. They may try to stick to the same thing, but they have to stylistically figure out, okay, we have to find an answer for the rest of Husky Splatsville Knights, especially with some of the balls that could happen.
Yeah. So it will be the more aggressive team heading into this matchup. Splatsville Knights game 3 up. Heading into this. Let's see if they can keep up that momentum, or if University Central them down. Ollie back on that bamboo, but a little bit switch up here. Egg Pig going to that heavy edit.
So this is these are this is pretty much a total change from Husky Splatsville Knights when you talk about the pace of this comp. But I'm not sure if this really is the move. But all that being said and done, you got a heavy edit, you have a bamboo, you just have to make it work across the board. And I would love to see how they can take advantage of the coolers and the chumps, especially from the NZAP 89, along with the hammer from that wiper there overall, as that Rainmaker quickly gets picked up and then, you know, just gets dropped back down.
Yeah, Rainmaker right up on the Error-Nautics, and they're going for, but down very left up, slowly moving that Rainmaker, and it's going to be Ollie trying to move it back the other way for.
Looks like we're just trying to get things ironed out here, so we'll quickly chime in here. We got two down situation here. As we speak, we get Dizzy just trying to fish around, while we get to see a delayed triple on top of everything that is going on there. And yeah, we're trying to iron out some things that are happening behind the scenes there. So we'll get you covered as much as we can. As Ollie is able to get this one down. 2 members down, by the way, on that side. So the Husky Splatsville Knights will take it on to the first checkpoint, and that will be the lead. Do we have our backup here? Say something real quick. If not, then we can keep on going, as we do have a wipeout on top of this, and that will be a good hold. Error-Nautics should be able to return back in their favor at this time.
Yeah, Error-Nautics trying to make a play here, but Husky Splatsville Knights slowly getting pushed back little by little. Ollie pops that Wales, tries to slow down this University of Central Florida, but there goes the checkpoint.
Yeah, and that's the checkpoint broken by both teams there, as we do have Elixir now picking up this one. They just need to move it a few inches. That's all they needed to do, or a few centimeters, if you will, for the lead change. And now we get to see Error-Nautics just trying to push up. Now they're just trying to set up painting across the board. The hammer is shut down. That ultimately meant the Rainmaker still in their possession. They can get a lot more points at the very least into a 3-down situation. Vapor, this is the first points, I believe, on the hands of Error-Nautics.
And it came down to speed at the very end of it too. Just able to find the momentum, able to make those plays. They just found their opening into the knockout. Error-Nautics taking game number 3. 2-1 Husky Splatsville Knights, but look again right back at this replay here, Kian.
Yeah, we get to see the Rainmaker being picked up right away. Now 3 members are just kind of trying to move up ahead. That hammer needed to find the pick. That was basically the hammer that needed to find the pick onto that Rainmaker holder. I believe Elixir was on duty for this one, just could not find it. And everybody around Error-Nautics and surrounding the goal line was basically painting as much as they could, trying to lock out Husky Splatsville Knights on that push alone. And all that support was just there. That led to the KO that we just saw there, Vapor.
It led to the KO, definitely, and all the aggression as well on top of that, just throwing fire after fire, keeping the stagger out, and Husky Splatsville Knights were just unable to get right back in and stop the Rainmaker in time.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna be really excited to see how Husky Splatsville Knights tries to adjust. So this is where we get to see. Okay, now we got a little shaky there in Eel Tail Rainmaker, but the counterpoint is probably a lot of teams don't practice too much in Eel Tail Rainmaker. They may have a much better concept running for Scorch Gorge Clan Blitz, which is the next map coming up. So now both teams are kind of back from a map mode that doesn't get played often to something that gets played almost near regularly across a lot of places. So I'd like to see how both teams play style wise at this go around adjust to this 4th map.
Yeah. So we are going out to Clan Blitz Scorch Gorge, and this is more of a common map that you see. So it's definitely going to be a lot more back and forth, and with more experience from players such as Ollie, such as Nexus. They do have that advantage because they've been playing together for so long.
Yeah, and the event, yeah, and the event. I would love to see if the whole dynamic chemistry between the members there will pan out at this go around. Now, I should also mention for those who are probably realizing, wait a minute, is this am I talking to Kraken here, or is this Vapor trying to disguise themselves as Kraken? I guess a little explanation there. I think Vapor's PC decided to say not. Let's put it this way: college internet is not great sometimes, and I think it finally ate a Vapor's network connectivity there. So we decided to pop Vapor over to let's say a few rooms down per se, and then get on Kraken's machine to return back to us. So welcome back, Vapor, after a bit of a snafu.
Yeah, we got our issues figured out. Hopefully things will be calmed down a little bit more as we head into the rest of this set. This is game number 4, Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge Vice on that Nautilus. We've seen them on that Nautilus the whole entire set, but just moving down, double shot pencil from Error-Nautics, and they've been trying to stay in this entire time, making those plays. But early on, Husky Splatsville Knights trying to poke out very quickly.
Yeah. So the big difference here on the side of Husky Splatsville Knights, there 2 weapons got swapped out. You got, or I think it might be three, but I think it was 2 here. It was the Sorella Tentabella. I'm gonna say that correctly this time, and the NZAP. Regular NZAP for that matter, being dished out there. So the cooler change is going from heavy-headed to the Zaps, a little bit more aggressive. We'll talk about that later. We got a wipeout in tow here, Vapor. The first push is going to come in here for Error-Nautics.
Points on the board, going below 50 remaining, trying to find any hits, but they have ran out of clams. Cooler trying to get popped from Elixir, but they go down before it's able to get thrown. That's going to be it for points, but slowing down a little bit more, but still holding on to mid. It's going to be Error-Nautics trying to move around this left flank. It's the 10 attack who drops back down into mid, pops those tri-strikes, and keeps up this aggression, holding all of mid with their team.
Yeah. This is pretty much good control around mid. Now your focus is to get the clams and then trying to make sure you assert yourself for a push up ahead. And there's a toss of the clam up there when really there was no control to work with. So they had to find a way to save that clam as much as they could. But I think they're gonna have to give up on this one. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication or coordination not quite there. On that side, but there's no matter on that one. They got another power clam available. Just did it differently this time. So I think they're just holding put here until they can get painting set up and try to get something working. Tryzuka, by the way, did find one on that side, and it is going to be 2 down. I'd like to see if Error-Nautics can take advantage.
Trying to move back up. Nautilus has the ball. Storm ready. There goes the Storm. They're going to look for a push here for Error-Nautics. And moving up, Cooler on the line, but there goes the Nautilus to Egg Pig on the other side. Elixir does get the ball into the basket, but that's going to be a staggered wipe. Back, switching over mid control for the Husky Splatsville Knights as they try to make a play of their own. Didn't really break through the penalty points there. So another free clam available for Husky Splatsville Knights to make it if they will. Clutch pick, by the way, from Egg Pig there, stopping one, and then the rest of the team followed suit there. Well, as soon as we praise them a bit, they try to move far up, and then Error-Nautics catches them by surprise. It's a full wipeout. Now let's see if Error-Nautics can swing it back the other direction. They should be able to, but it looks like the rest of the team has respawned just in time for this push to stall a little bit, and now they got to slow down with a nice pick there onto the Zap. Fire going down on top of this one, and now that's going to be the triple entry being dished out. Let's see if they can find that opening. 3 clams ready to go. None of them going in just yet. 2 down on the side of Error-Nautics, and they're going to be forced to back right up. Husky Splatsville Knights pops those killer whales for Ollie, and they're going to try to move right with them, but no one is able to help them keep paint on their feet, and they're forced to back right up, but there's nowhere really to back up to. It's going to be the tent trying to dive in to help out, but slowly trying to back up on their own. Nautilus able to stay alive, but there's going to be a DC on the field. let's hope that doesn't really make a difference in this matchup. But they're going to try to struggle to hold on the defensive end, which is what the Husky Splatsville Knights have been failing at. They've been failing on the offensive end every single time, but this is their time to make that offensive push.
Now it's a permanent 4v3 situation, but the rest of Husky Splatsville Knights have went down. That's 3 down on top of this one. They can't push up any further. So here's the good news with this 3v4 situation from Error-Nautics end. They built themselves enough of a lead, and at this point, you don't have enough manpower, let's say, or squid power, if you will, to really push up to try to push up. So wisely, what I think they will need to do is try to play a lot more defensively. Don't get themselves caught in bad situations, unlike that one that just happened there, and just try to make sure that you don't give Husky Splatsville Knights a chance to come back. Husky Splatsville Knights need multiple power clamps in if they want to swing the lead back in their favor. We're down to the last 12 seconds, Vapor.
Overtime is on the horizon. Points going in on the board, and this is the only push the Husky Splatsville Knights have. 62 points remaining, and they have a lot of clams that they need to get into this basket. 11 points difference. It's going to be the Husky Splatsville Knights diving in. They need one clam.
Man.
All he has it on the line. All he needs to score, and they do!
That was unfortunate from Error-Nautics and going multiple down and just not enough paint left to defend the barrier anymore. And again, the difference of a 3v4 situation had come into play. They had to make sure that all the members were up, clamp down on defenses, and make sure you don't give Husky Splatsville Knights a chance to work. And we're gonna get to see this push in. That's one barrier, and yeah, look at all the painting that was just around that one. They just need to gather up the clans, and nobody from Error-Nautics from that side was just there to respond. It just built up the space. It needed the additional support from the Sorella 10th Umbrella that was coming out there, Vapor. And yeah, there's all of them. Oli was the last one to cash in. I'd like to see if the spacing worked. Yeah, they just not enough time really to paint over that line. I think they were just trying to play very passively in that regard. I don't blame in that scenario, but by the end of that one, Husky Splatsville Knights up 3-1 here, Vapor.
Yeah, and it sucks that it has to come down to, oh, there's a DC on the field, and that's what you lose to because you don't have the numbers to stop an incoming push. But Error-Nautics, shouts to them. They played really strong in that opening half.
Yeah, now I want to talk about the positives as you mentioned. Well, I think they're trying to get they're trying to get the one person back in for Error-Nautics. Yeah, they had a strong push, and then it just became a slugfest around just trying to get any sort of control, any sort of offense just booted up there. And as you mentioned earlier, Vapor, Husky Splatsville Knights were just having a hard time just booting up on offense. They're having a hard time getting the car started effectively, trying to get that push thrown in. But at that point in time, though, with the DC, I think that happened in about less than a minute and a half, which I think is just a little too way past the threshold for a replay, if I'm not mistaken on that one. It's just a little unfortunate. It's just a little unfortunate. Then they had to now shift their gears, realizing, okay, we go 3 down. We just have to hold. And it was unfortunate. I think the squid down was just a bit much for them at that point.
Yeah, and again, it sucks, but you just have to reset now. Reset your mental game. We're heading into match point in this best of 7. So this is the final chance for Error-Nautics to continue on to try to take the win in this set.
So the next map is going to be the Hagelfish Market Zones, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a good time for both teams to focus on, again, a map mode that does get played regularly. So I want to see. I don't think Error-Nautics are really going to change anything up. If they haven't changed anything up from the previous maps alone, I don't think they're going to change it now. Husky Splatsville Knights are still just dynamically changing their comps, I think, to fit to the strengths of the map mode and to their players. So I don't be surprised if there's going to be anything there. But we can talk about the weapons all they want. I would like to see if Error-Nautics can reset. You had the lead last time. You go permanent 3v4 because of the DC situation. They had to now start thinking, okay, it sucks that we ended up losing map more the way they do, but we got to reset. We got to win the next 3, hopefully, to win the set again.
Yep, and that is what this is going to come down to. Will Error-Nautics have their chance to pop off? Will they find their breakthrough point in this next game. And they definitely showed it in Rainmaker. This is a slower mode, and this is what Husky Splatsville Knights has been good at, those slower modes. Moving objectives slower than a fast pace. That's also how Error-Nautics got the win in Rainmaker. It was so fast paced where Husky Splatsville Knights weren't able to move up very quickly. So back here, Hagglefish Market Splat Zones, not really. Actually, why even say that? A lot of surprises here. No Chargers at all on the field.
So remember when I said that Error-Nautics we're not going to change any weapons? They decided to prove me wrong. They must have heard me and were like, no, we're going to prove you wrong here, Keon. As the Trizuka did find one. They go to a change with the Splash of the Flings, which actually I think is a really solid change overall from Error-Nautics end. And Husky Splatsville Knights, fundamental change overall. I'm going to talk about that later. That's a delayed wipe if I'm not mistaken here, Vapor. Error-Nautics are trying to push forward.
Yeah, and this is the aggression aspect. They were able to get that early start, but are they going to be able to hold it? It's only the Flings that are left alive on Error-Nautics, advantage at University of Washington. They get the zone flip, and rushing that last member down is going to be the splatter shot, but not much else going on. Zone is held, building up those specials. University of Washington does have zone ready, but it's going to be Central Florida building up those specials. Here comes that crab tank. There goes the missiles. Trizuka as well. Throw out the house. This is going to be a zone flip.
Yeah, that zone split comes at a good time. Husky Splatsville Knights, for the record, they get the Trizuka shot that got 2 to add to the 3 down, which basically meant they were able to flip zone in their favor. And then Error-Nautics forget the entire kitchen sink. They threw the entire house at the rest of Husky Splatsville Knights, and they had to do that in order to get the zone back in their favor. And now at this point, with all the specials being exhausted here, Vapor, both teams now in a bit of a slugfest. But the rest of Husky Splatsville Knights, with the painting they had, able to assert control. Now let's see if the crafting can pressure them out. We're going to get to see the Trizuka from Bear there, trying to see if they can find anybody else. Doesn't look like they can, and the Knowledge drops on top of it. This is going to allow Error-Nautics to secure the point again.
Holding that lead for a little bit longer. Husky Splatsville Knights multiple down, but they're trying to stay alive, and they keep getting picked off one by one. This is advantage for Central Florida once more, and it's been like that a lot of this entire set. Zuka out, trying to find the pick, and there goes the splash. This is the chance for the University of Washington to make their push. There's one jump out for Error-Nautics, but Zone flips right back in favor of University of Washington. And they just need to hold onto this zone as they break through those penalty points. Trizuka storm out, and here they come, Keon.
Yeah, here they go. They got the specials lined up, and now they just paint over. Very well done by Error-Nautics there to at least force penalty points onto Husky Splatsville Knights, no matter the cost. Elixos, by the way, on the side, and able to take out one. They just got to get Igpeg out of there to just freshen up, and they should be able to. There is a trade, but Error-Nautics are to have 3 squids up for that matter. They're going to be okay with this one. They get zones controlled there. What we kind of saw earlier was just a battle of Trizukas, just trying to see which one can get the other first. And it looked like the Trizukas were stuck in a stalemate. They decided to just dish out the Inkstar and all the painting from Error-Nautics' end to force the zone split that way. And that leads to what we're about to see here, which is Error-Nautics out of the penalty points here. Vapor, they got 27 points left, and the point has neutralized just now.
Neutralized but not capped. All the penalty points are broken. The Huskies need to be able to find the flip, but they keep losing one after another. Watch the right side as well, as there's a flank. They end up going down, and there goes 2 on the side of University of Central Florida. Cap for the Husky Splatsville Knights as they apply a penalty, and they still have a long distance to go here.
Yeah, it's still a little bit of a mountain to climb, but still plenty of time to do so. And the Trizuka again, just that Trizuka getting 1, which was just enough to force point the other direction. 55 seconds left here. Look at the rest of Error-Nautics. The special usage has to be good. And you got the Inkstorm dished out. You got now dish out the 10 missiles. Crab Tank and Trizuka is available. They got to dish out the entire house again. The second house they just built. Now they're gonna throw it right at Husky Splatsville Knights, and they force them into penalty. And way more than just that, there, Vapor. They take that to 3 down. And now Error-Nautics are just trying to make sure that they can secure this map home with 30 seconds left to go. 3 down, forced to jump out of the last. The Husky Splatsville Knights
need one opportunity. Storm out, Cooler out, Wave Breaker and Zuka online. There goes the Wave. Zuka is out as well. There goes the house on the other side, but only dropping one member on the side of Error-Nautics. Husky Splatsville Knights, they need this cap. They needed to stay alive in this game. And they find that cap, but can they hold onto the zone throughout overtime? One goes down, and it doesn't look like it here. Error-Nautics is taking another game off the Husky Splatsville Knights.
That is a huge map win after what happened on the previous map, but that's a great reset overall for Error-Nautics to at least get themselves mentally ready to prepare for this one, and they just take this 5th map home. A lot of highlights here to note here, Vapor, but the story of Error-Nautics, great special coordination. Let's take a look at the last 10 seconds of this one. We get to see all the jumps with the Husky Splatsville Knights. They're just trying to rush in and get this zone split. They needed to. They needed to force overtime right away. You get the Nautilus in position. You throw out the Inkstorm to kind of displace the rest of the Husky Splatsville Knights. That way, make sure they... But some of the members of the Husky Splatsville Knights, I think one of them went down to the Inkstorm. Maybe a few more on top of the Crab Tank and other spread range that was there. And that just pretty much signaled the end for Husky Splatsville Knights at a comeback. I think with the highlight here from Error-Nautics, 2 fantastic pushes, all of them with great special coordination. 3 or 4 specials all used. Again, we talked about how the entire house was thrown at Husky Splatsville Knights to get the zone, and they did that beautifully.
Yeah, and it also came down to the very end with how fast they were able to retake that as well. They popped the missiles. Crab Tank was popped out at the exact same time. Missiles force them to move. Crab finishes them off on one side. Everyone else on the other just paint right over there. Like, that's an easy flip. Really good special coordination to secure the victory by Error-Nautics.
It's just fantastic game planning. They're trying to be very patient with this Hagelfish zone. They know that they can just cap it with some support from the Inkstorm and some Trizuka, maybe picks or even painting even. And if I'm not mistaken, with the Crab Tank aiding on top of it, it just allowed an easy zone split the entire way. Husky Splatsville Knights, they just had to sprout and just retreat a little bit back, knowing that the entire house was literally right in front of them. Ah, there's a house that's being thrown at me, basically. And that was just basically what Husky Splatsville Knights had to face with. And yeah, that was really how that map played out. So a lot of praises to Error-Nautics there. Husky Splatsville Knights, I commend a lot of their efforts just trying to contest that, but I think it was just a bit much. But now they get to focus onto this 6th map here, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is Sturgeon Tower Control, which I'm going to just say right now, people do need to practice a little bit more on Sturgeon every now and then.
I definitely agree. Sturgeon definitely does need some practice for everyone, honestly. But this is also a really good beacon map. We did see those dually sculptures come out in the last game. Maybe switch it up to some CDS. Have some beacons, super jump to clear out the window as well. Always a really good option just to try to control an area very quickly.
I think you highlighted there, if any member can dish out has weapons in their arsenal that has the beacon, I think that's a great time to start using it, because I think there's even a few areas around Sturgeon Shipyard, some of the pits on the side that could be great beacon places to put down. Notably, again, in Sturgeon Tower Control being the map mode in question. So I think you bring up a great point there, that is probably we could be seeing weapons that have that. At the same time, though, I don't think the rest of Error-Nautics are going to keep to the same thing they had, because the entire terrain isn't really conducive to what they dish out for Hagelfish zones. Basically, all that being said, I think we're going to be expecting weapon changes, unless they try to prove me wrong again here, Vapor.
They can always try to prove you wrong, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But we're going to be heading right into this. This is game number 6 of a best of 7 match point for the Husky Splatsville Knights out of the University of Washington. And no beacons to see on the field, but again, backless for each side.
Okay, this is a weapon I don't normally see. Look at what Nexus has, by the way, on Husky Splatsville Knights. That is a Forge Pro. I don't see Forge Pros that often. You have range, you have Bleeder Bomb. I believe it also has the Suction Bomb on top of it. So this weapon you have for you have the Buoy Bomb there, so you have the range, and then basically be used to help protect the tower. And you also have the Sorrel Umbrella just for the Inkjet usage on top of it. I think this is perfect. I think this is a very reasonable comp that Husky Splatsville Knights had, but they went 2 down as soon as I speak to that one. Error-Nautics are just pushing up to the first checkpoint here, Vapor.
Grab tank ready to go for Dizzy on the tower. Andu popping those strip strikes, trying to find something, and finds one with the bomb. Nexus with that Booyah Bomb, trying to slow down this tower. Finds the pick onto Elixir, but it's only the Brella. Otter trying to hold on to their Inkjet, hold on to that bottom left area by that tower, but okay, there goes the Inkjet. they find one just like that, and they're on the flank, super weak, but they might just live right through that with the Brella on landing, and they go down off screen. So why even worry about Umbrella?
Okay, we may have some controversy here with some potential Brella usage there, but I think they were holding on to that Inkjet for quite some time. Also, Buoy Bomb there to help displace the Crab Tank, and the Trizuka just thrown right into the Crab Tank there from Husky Splatsville. Go a delayed wipe on top of this Vapor. The lead is gonna flip easily, and with the respawns being the way they are, the rest of Error-Nautics may have to give up this second checkpoint and then some more. Where they're gonna have to see if they can test. That is a great hold. Nexus is there to at least throw this Buoy Bomb and actually shut down while throwing the Buoy Bomb, and nobody's dead to it. With all the cars there, Vapor, what a hold from Error-Nautics, but they have a mountain to climb, but still plenty of time to do so.
Yeah, what a hold from not letting that snowball any further. But it definitely sucks because they lose that checkpoint as well. And that checkpoint is very important, especially on this map, because it's really hard to stop a snowball from happening.
Yeah, and Husky Splatsville Knights delayed wipe on the fight around mid when Error-Nautics was just trying to reset everything back up, and now Husky Splatsville Knights just trying to push their advantages. Forge Pro from Nexus, if I'm not mistaken, gets found immediately, and so does the Hero Shot replica. So the Wavebreaker, if I'm not mistaken, has been dished out on top of this one. Otter just holding onto this HI, I think just waiting for the opportune time to use it. With the rest of the offense kind of stalled back, they're just gonna opt to hang on to this one. We'll wait for the right time to use it, such as now. There's Otter with that Inkjet, trying to see if they can find any value out of it. If it looks like it's just a little bit patient, and really there's no value, but they did take out a member in the process.
One member did swim right through those grates at the very bottom of mid. Another jumping out, but this is still advantage for the Huskies as they pop those Zuka, keeps that tower forward, but they go 2 down. Nexus on this tower, trying to force a pick, but unable to find anything out of it. Andu now on the tower to run this all the way down. Strip strikes ready, and they get popped out very quickly.
Yeah, they use the triple link strikes, make sure that the rest of Husky Splatsville Knights are kind of just spread around as we speak. There's a Suction Bomb's probably going to slow down the push. In fact, maybe I found one in the process there. Nautilus is down, so you got 3 frontliners trying to be aggressive, then they're just trying to rush right in. They sniff out the Forge Probe in the process, but that crucial pick onto the Nautilus forces the rest of Error-Nautics to try to push up and make anything happen. So that's a great hold by the Husky Splatsville Knights all around. And again, they had to get the special usage coordinated there, but it just doesn't look like there's gonna be any. Hey, Error-Nautics, they take 3 out. This is time for Error-Nautics to try to see if they can get a rebound and get a better push in.
With only the Brella last one up, they keep them back. Inkjet is ready for them, but here comes those grip strikes. 40 seconds left of regulation. Nexus trying to make a play at the tower. There goes 2 down on the side of Error-Nautics, but getting shut down by Blair once more. Blair finds the pick on the Nautilus. That shuts down this push. Blair popping off but before going down to Elixir, and Elixir gets picked on as well. Advantage Error-Nautics heading into the last 20, but they still have a long distance to go. They have to get through that whole entire checkpoint plus some.
They have to get through more than just that checkpoint, and they now have to now reset everything back up. With 7 seconds left to go, the tower positioning isn't necessarily great here, and they're just staggering right now. They're just trying to force this tower to stay alive in their favor. The crab tank's been pushed off. Someone has to touch that tower right now, and the bomb is there. That bomb is gonna signal the end of Error-Nautics' attempt to make this happen, and just like that, Vapor, 4-2 Husky Splatsville Knight, they win the set.
Wow, that bomb That's all you can really say to that. That bomb just potentially saved that push. Like if they were able to find picks on top of keeping the tower forward, then that could have gone either way at that point. But that bomb secured it for the Husky Splatsville Knights.
So the key thing with this push, which we're going to note in the last 10 seconds here, Vapor, look at where the tower was really positioned and look at where Husky Splatsville Knights were. They were surrounding this tower the entire time, and the rest of Error-Nautics were just trying to force something with this push. I think maybe they could have waited a few seconds to try to get everything set up just in time. There was no matter who threw that bomb. I think it might have been a bomb or just bomb there. It might have been Otter or the Forge Pro from Nexus that threw it. I have to take a quick look there, but yeah, that wipeout, when you see the rest of Error-Nautics bunched up trying to get this tower push happen, that was just the wrong time to be positioned for that push. But yeah, credit to Husky Splatsville Knights, just needed to hold the line. They didn't need to try to force something ridiculous that they didn't need to, and that's just how they win the 6th map and the set overall, Vapor.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to go back with something we have done here in the CCA a lot in the past, and a nice little go-to for us collegiate folk is to play all 7, because why not have that extra practice?
This is one of my favorite traditions in the CCA. I've noted it here since even the CCA League was season 1, for that matter, back when it was still in Splatoon 2 land. I'm sure there might be people that will remember anything about that, but yeah, a tradition unlike any other for this one is where you get to see teams just go all 7 maps for there, just get some extra playtime. Just try to get a feel for how this 7th map goes. Maybe they want to do something more serious, or they try to go back to the lab to test something out. Or they may try to engage full memes. More often than not, though, they'll try to just basically, play all 7, just end this entire set on a high note. So anything I had in terms of weapon predictions can be out the window. I like to see what both teams want to do this on the 7th map.
Well, let's get ready for our 4 bamboos versus 4 pencils. Let's get ready for that.
Yeah, 4 bamboos. No. That is a little ridiculous. Unless Oli and Elixir are just trying to get their members to do some more backline, midline practice. No, I'm gonna say no to that one, champ. I will bet you this will be a little bit more serious, and maybe they may be trying to prove to me that Brellas are actually useful. I don't know.
Maybe it would be funny to see a lot of chargers.
Yeah, but do I really want to see three chargers into something like this? Okay, I had to do a quick double check here. Yeah, the 7th map is Humpback Pump Track Rainmaker. Do you really expect there to be chargers in something like this?
Hey, I've seen it earlier today in my own Ludi set, so.
Okay, maybe it was your Ludi set overall in there, Vapor. Maybe we gotta have a chat about that real quick. Anything they took out of Ludi, I'm gonna be shocked about. If they want to do this to you again, I'm gonna need to have a chat with them later.
It would be funny. Maybe we have a charger main out here. Hey, Alexa, please.
Wait, okay, no, Elixir, just, no. All I can imagine how the comms are going is, you gotta do 4 chargers, you have to do it for this. Please do it just for me. Prove that Pencil is actually good, and then, actually, Oli's out on the other team. Hang on, Oli's out on the other team. So there will be no bamboos. That is my call. I think that is the call there. Maybe, if they want to go full unfortunate comp, they go 4 Forge Pros, but I don't think they're gonna do just that. I think both teams will actually do this seriously.
Yeah,
for this one.
I expect to see a nice little serious matchup here, but either way, Rainmaker Humpback. And we talked a little bit about it earlier. Speed is key for this.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's one of those map modes that is very conducive to just playing very fast. Because once you multiple member down situations, that checkpoint can get broken insanely fast and could snowball out of control if the entire team is just not careful with it, and of course the other team gets the wipeout that they needed. So at that point in time, you have to see which one can get the advantage early so they can get that checkpoint soon. I've done a Ludi set where both teams didn't even get to the checkpoint, or even I think only one team did. So it is entirely possible that only one checkpoint gets broken. I kind of expect this to possibly stall into an easy first checkpoint. Let's wait and see on this one. We got a Stamper sighting.
Yeah, nice little Stamper Nautilus, very aggressive on both sides here. Dooley Squelcher's V-Shot, not really surprised much at all. Remember, this is Game 7. This doesn't count for statistics in any way, but this is a good way to have fun and close out a night.
Yeah, close out a night here. Husky Splatsville Knights just want to go for the five map claim here, but they unfortunately lose 3 on top of this. And Error-Nautics, what they want to play for is just at least end the set strong, even though, yeah, you weren't able to win the set overall. At least end it on a high note. Don't feel like you basically lost the entire set off of what happened in Game 6. Let's see if you can try to assert some dominance here, as 2 members quickly go down on Husky Splatsville Knights, and this Rainmaker is really just stuck back here in mid.
Dooley is trying to make a play over to the Stamper. They pop the Zipcaster. Rainmaker did get picked up, but goes down almost immediately. Elixir grabbing the Rainmaker themselves this time. 2 down on the side of the Huskies. Huskies make that 3. It's only the Dooley's last one up, and they're way out of the play in the trench. Now trying to come in and finds 2 before going down.
Yeah, now that's pretty much what happens when multiple members going down, and now the painting really being set up for Error-Nautics to get that push moving further up ahead. They're trying to do the exact same thing here with a very speedy Nautilus that trying to maybe bite off a little bit more than they could chew, and the rest of Error-Nautics pays the price here, Vapor. It is a horrible position to be when you're the Rainmaker that's on front and the rest of the members are behind you.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that position at all, but because of that wipe, this checkpoint's going to fall very quickly. Pops those strip strikes, get that Rainmaker popping, keep it moving. Amazon trying to make a play of their own, but that's going to be a lead flip with their help. 3 down on the side of the Huskies, though. University of Washington forced to back up, but they did take lead off that push.
As we've alluded to earlier, speed is the name of the game, and things can go out of control in a flash. That is exactly what happens. Yeah, the full wipeout when the rest of Error-Nautics tried to bite off way more than they needed to affect in that situation means that, hey, we're going to swing it the other direction. Husky Splatsville Knights turn basically a push that Error-Nautics had into 31 points made for their own. Amazon was just trying to drop down, trying to find a pick there, and now the Rainmaker actually being picked up opportunistically. Now they gotta have to protect this Rainmaker overall, but even so though for Husky Splatsville Knights, great push that they just did.
2:20 left in this 7th game. Zuka out from Elixir, trying to find the pick onto the Rainmaker, but unable to get anything. 2 down on the side of University Central Florida. Nautilus dancing around in mid, trying to escape, which they do for at least a little bit here, but Huskies have the Rainmaker. Use those shots to try to separate your opponents and collapse in on them. Elixir will try to shark in this corner, though. Moving up, Huskies. Nexus finds 1 before going down to Elixir. Rainmaker poking out. They go down to Elixir as well. Amazon in mid on those dualies. Jumps going in as well, and we are having a bloodbath here in mid, Keon.
This bloodbath in mid just continues to go back and forth and back and forth. Nobody really wants to put their put a hold in this one, and that's just one of those situations where all this brawl in mid means that Rainmaker is stuck where it is, and now the double I just saw earlier, along with that 3 down scenario with 1 member going down on top of it, they're gonna opt to reset the Rainmaker. That's really not a problem at all, unless Dark Panther tries to find anything else. Well, maybe they'll find anything else in another time here, Vapor. Maybe they just want to go back to the lunchroom and actually get something before they continue on.
Maybe you just want to grab some lunch. Don't forget to eat. Don't forget to drink, everyone.
I guess it's dinner time for where they are the entire time through. Maybe they need to go back to the dorm rooms. They realize, actually, this 7th map is going too long. We're done here. Let's just get out of here, y'all.
Yeah. Maybe it could be that. It could be a spectator disconnect, but who really knows? We could find out shortly. But at the very end of the day, it will be the Huskies to take this set, University of Washington 4 over University of Central Florida Aeronautics 2.
And that's one of those situations, Vapor. I'm getting flashbacks. I feel like I've seen this screen before in a previous time, Vapor, and I'm just getting like, oh my god, it's coming back to me again, again for that one. I'm trying to hear word on what happened at lobby. I think it actually could have just been a total lobby disconnect from what I'm hearing, but I'm not no confirmation on that one. But all that being said, yep, okay, yeah, it was a host disconnect. So nobody's fault here. I think it's only fitting we end on this screen alone. There, Vapor.
Especially with us two here. Like
Exactly. We're
it's always
cursed
the best. What we are the curse. Always have a DC somewhere,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I think we got to get the other set going, shouldn't we, Vapor?
well, the other set's probably waiting for us. So let's call it quits here. Keon, y'all can find me over at V4P0R_SPL on Twitter, Twitch. Find me basically anywhere, and we are going to be heading into the next set. Keon, where can the viewers find you?
Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, Kion2570. You can find me in those 3 locations. I do a lot of shenanigans posting on the usual Twitter and Blue Sky places. And Twitch, I play Splatoon, but I also do a lot more than just that. I do a lot of variety. So smash that follow button if you want to find me there. Vapor, and excuse me, I'm going to go join the rest of Central Florida and Washington at the dinner circle to figure out what the heck happened there.
Well, you go enjoy your nice little dinner circle. Don't forget to eat and drink, everyone, as we get this next set up and coming. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned. Next set coming up next.